You know, I saw a picture recently of that time when Paul McCartney went to go see the Quarrymen in Liverpool, and that's when he saw John Lennon singing on stage, and that's when he met John Lennon, and thus eventually down the road we have the birth of the greatest rock and roll band ever in the history of music. So the right place and the right time, or the idea of thinking to take a picture at a particular moment in time, and you don't understand how important or relevant that picture will be moving forward in the future. So I want to show you an example of a picture that was taken here in 1963. So in the early 60s and the late 50s, actually for the better part of the 50s and the early 60s, there was a lot of conversation about what to do with the level crossing at Sources Boulevard. And so they wanted to talk about this in the Lakeshore News here again in 1963. So with that, they took a picture of Sources Boulevard looking northbound, but south of the 20. So when you look at this right away, you'd think it was maybe St. John's or St. Charles possibly, but because we've gotten used to seeing what is the bizarre overpass piece of modern art that is the Sources and the 20 interchange, I had no idea what I was looking at, because here it says the infamous crossing. It was a famous crossing because it was incredibly dangerous. This is the Sources Road crossing at Montreal and the St. Anne's Boulevard, right? So they didn't even call it the 2 and 20 at that time, which the provincial department admits requires a grade crossing. In this case, an underpass rather than an overpass. So that's interesting that they considered an underpass, but just the picture in itself. Now, if you could look at this picture and you can kind of figure out where exactly you're looking at. So right here, this is Sources, and in fact, when you turn off of Donegany to go next to where the gas station is, that is Sources Boulevard, and Sources Boulevard went right down to what was the original highway, Lakeshore. So if you look at Sources and how it crosses over, or doesn't anymore, but on the south side of the 20, you have Sources there as well. But this is an interesting picture and an interesting perspective, because this is something that we'll never see again, but this is something that people saw for years and years and years. And as soon as they put on that overpass, this whole perspective just became extinct. So that's why I think the picture and the memory of this is endangered, and that's why we're creating this endangered short. Hope you enjoyed it.